Hello guys, TAFHD here and welcome back to another video, and today you join me on the floor, and that is because we are discussing the eMac. Now this thing is too big and heavy to go on my desk without snapping it, so that is why we're on the floor, and today I have decided that I'm going to sell this thing, pretty much because it is so big and heavy. It takes up too much room, and quite frankly I do not have room for it, and I have finally admitted that I am a hoarder and I need to get rid of a few things. So this will be going and that will free up a lot of space. And there's also some other things I'm getting rid of as well. You can see one computer over there. That will be going, and there's lots more stuff behind me as well, but that is not up for discussion today. Today we're going to be looking at this. So we're going to be preparing this for sale, giving it a quick clean. We're going to try booting it up, see if it works. I need to take some pictures of it as well. And we're just going to pretty much say goodbye to it. So if you've not seen this computer before, I bought it for £20 thinking it just needed a hard drive. Turns out it's got a hard drive, it's just got some other catastrophic failure. I think some capacitors have failed. There's artifacting on the screen and it crashes either on boot up or just as it gets to the desktop. So I've never actually managed to mess around with this thing because it always freezes. I think I've made 2 or 3 videos about this before. Don't think I've mentioned it for probably close to a year now. And I was going to try and get it working, but quite frankly, I don't have that much interest in this machine and it is simply too big. If you turn it around, you can see just how deep it is. It's like a proper big CRT. I've got an iMac G4 with the same specs, and that's a lot more portable and a more pretty machine. This thing, I only got it because it was so cheap and I thought it just needed a hard drive. Turns out it needs other work and I don't really want to do that. So let's try turning it on. I'll get some photos and we will just see how this goes, I guess. Okay, so here we are. I've got a bit of a closer angle and you can see me in the reflection, but whatever. This probably hasn't been turned on in about a year. That might have fixed its problems, although it's probably made it worse. So I'm going to now press the power button and I guess we will just see what happens. Now, I don't actually remember where the power button is, so that is always helpful. Ah, here it is. So it still bongs, which is a good sign. We do have a power light on the bezel as well. Of course, as always, PowerPC takes a long time to show anything. Fan is still spinning. I'm guessing this is probably just going to display the same symptoms as last time. Sometimes it freezes here, sometimes it freezes at the desktop. There's no real way of knowing. It is starting to spin. Probably will freeze though. If this thing boots up fine, I'm not really sure what I can do with it because I can't sell it as working in case it stops working again. So I'm not too sure. And it looks like it has frozen. Oh no, it's still going. I thought it had frozen then, but it looks like it's still doing something. I have seen it get to the desktop, so it might do that, I guess. So it just flashed black and then back to blue. So it's been on this screen for about a minute now. So I think it has frozen at this point. Yeah, I don't think it's doing anything, so I'm going to hold down the power button, turn it off, then let's try turning it on again. Yeah, I saw some graphical things come up then. That might be just because I hard shut it down. These speakers sound good though. These eMacs do have very nice speakers and there is a lot of bass in that bong. So if nothing else, the speakers are decent on this particular example. Now I'm going to cut ahead because there's no point wasting minutes waiting for it to load. So I'll come back when something happens or when something doesn't happen. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is actually going to show up, but there is now a cursor showing at the top of the screen. I'm using my GorillaPod today, not my usual tripod, so bear with me. But there is now a cursor up there. But if you look, I can see some black lines up there. Should focus, you should be able to see those. That is some form of artifacting, and I've not plugged a mouse in, but I'm guessing it's going to be frozen. So yeah, it's now showing some artifacting, and it's not loading up anything else, and the cursor is still up there. So yeah, I think this is now hung like this. So let's now turn this off and I think it's safe to say this thing still isn't working as it should. Alright, so I think it's safe to say that this thing does not work and it will have to be sold, spares or repair. Now I bought this for £20 and I'm not really sure how much I can sell this for, because I bought it for 20 thinking it needed a drive and that would have made it fully working. If I sold this now for 20 with it being pretty much absolutely dead, I don't really think that would be fair, although I don't actually know what the market is like for eMacs. So I'm going to quickly look on eBay. I'm going to search for eMac, and it always auto changes it to iMac, which is silly, so I have to then specify eMac. And there are some on here. It probably won't focus. Top one ends in 44 minutes. The starting bid is £20. No one's bid on that. Good working one, 65. 55 working. 10 working. I think it's really quite varied. I don't actually know if anyone's wanting to buy them either. And there's one there for 200, which I think is a bit crazy, although it might be reasonable because it does come with a keyboard and mouse. There's one with an original stand there that's quite expensive. So yeah, I don't know, there's not actually that many for sale, but yeah, I don't know. £10, I think that will be fair. I don't really care about the money, I just want it gone because it's so massive. I think £10 eMac, that's reasonable. Someone might want it for parts. I mean, it's in pretty decent condition. I have noticed that there is some smeary marks on the glass that never used to be there. Thought it was a scratch, but it looks like it can wipe off. So that'll be fine. And as far as I'm aware, everything is fine with this. The specs are in here. It is a 1 GHz, 256 megs of RAM, 40 gig hard drive, CD-ROM. I think it's a fairly respectable one. I think £10 would be pretty decent. So I'm going to get some pictures for it, and then I'll try and write a description. £10, I would pay that if I wanted to take the risk of being able to fix it, or maybe not. But I don't know, I just want it gone. If someone offered me £5, fine. It's just big, and I'd quite like the room. Okay, so first off, I'm going to give it a little bit of a clean before I take any pictures. So I've got a good old sock. Socks are always good for dusting. I can't find any cloths, so this will have to do. Good old sock to clean the display. It is very smeary. I don't seem to be able to get some of it off, but I don't really care. This thing's cheap, of course, so it doesn't matter. It has just been sitting around for pretty much a year, so it has got a lot of dirt on it, which is nice. And of course it'll probably get dirty again sitting around waiting for someone to buy it. If anyone wants to buy it, they might not. I honestly don't know what the market is like for these. If it gets to it, I'll just give it away. As I said, I don't really care about getting my money back. I just want it gone, and if it's going to go to a good home where they're going to try and fix it, that's fair enough. They can just have it. But it would be nice to get, just say, £10 for it, if I possibly could. So this is now looking a bit better. There's some paint splatters on it from the previous owner. I'm guessing it was in the room when they were doing some decorating with a paint roller. But again, not a big deal. So I'm now going to take a few photos. Probably not too many. I could do with some of when it's turned on, but I'll just like screen grab my previous videos where it booted up to the desktop and get some of that. So I'm just going to try and get some nice photos. And I honestly think that'll do. I think that's captured everything that needs to be captured. Just 4 photos. One of the front, one of the side, one of the put, one of the flap, and I'll put some in of it booted up when I get those out of one of the videos, and I think that'll do. If someone's interested, they can always ask to see more pictures, but I think that captures it pretty well. Okay, so it's been a couple of days and I've actually now posted the eMac for sale, so we're just going to take a quick look at what I've done. So that's the first picture. There's a reflection of my light cable which kind of looks like a scratch or something, but I don't really care. If I think it's a problem, I'll change it later. There's a picture of the side of the machine, one of the ports there as well. Stupid. What's going on? And there's one of the flap as well with the specs on it. Facebook's compression always makes photos look really crap, but it should still be visible for what I want, and yeah, this is being fun. Then I got a screen grab from one of my videos. Again, the compression makes it look really crap, but you can see the artifacting up there. And also another one, it looks crap on here, but there is some artifacting showing up there as well. Now, can I see the description on here? As you can see, I put it for £10. Brand, I should probably put a brand in. There we are, Apple. And let's take a look at the description. Apple eMac with a 1GHz PowerPC G4 processor. This computer is being sold as not working as it fails to boot up correctly. It freezes and displays some graphical artifacts. Does have a 40GB hard drive and believed to have 256MB of RAM in fairly good condition for age. I think that is fair. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. £10, that seems decent to me. So let's just save that, and hopefully this listing gets approved, because it does have to wait and be approved, and it looks like it is now active. So that's pretty cool. So that is now it for the eMac. I've done everything that I can possibly do with it. It would have been nice to get it working, but as I've already said, it's not really a machine I'm that interested in. I've got a G4 iMac, which is pretty much just the same thing, and that's a cooler machine, and it just takes up too much room, and I think it would be better if it went to someone that can actually fix it or make some use out of it. Maybe they can use the display and some other parts to make theirs nicer. Who knows? I guess it'll be up to whatever the next person wants to do with it. And for £10, I think it's a pretty good deal now. If in like a week or something, if no one wants it, I'll put it down to £5, and after that I'll just give it away because I just want it gone. But yeah, it's a shame we couldn't get it working, but I'm not too disappointed. I've still got 42 other computers to be messing around with. I really do need to slim down my collection. It's just difficult trying to get rid of things, because I know one day they'll all be worth a lot more money even if they are broken. So yeah, I just need to get a grip and get rid of some things. But that will now be the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we can make some more computers work in the future and not get defeated by them. But yeah, actually I did sell that purple Acer laptop that I made a video about recently. I sold that for £10. It cost me the equivalent of £5, so I doubled my money there, which was quite nice. The person that bought it wanted it for the screen. Of course I couldn't guarantee if the screen worked or not, because we couldn't get the machine to boot up, but he thought it was worth the risk, and he's now got that. Not sure if it's worked out for him or not. He hasn't got in touch, but I made £10 off that, so I'm pretty happy. But as I said, that is now the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully it was somewhat interesting in some way, but probably not, because nothing really happened. But anyway, the eMac is now going, and thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be something to do with Apple stuff, but who really knows. So as I said, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.